Eleanor Wales on Facebook asks us, who are your favorite characters?
Arya. I don't know.
It's probably
Arya
the
wins for me.
really obvious ones for me. I think it's Arya, it's Tyrion. It's Daenerys for me, but it's often Daenerys in potentiality, if that makes sense. I think she is a really interesting character, but I think she has the potential to become a fascinating character.
Right.
Whether that is, like our colleague Jim believes, a turn to the dark side,
Right.
or a triumph or whatever it is. I think she does have that potentiality to be a fascinating character, but I think that Arya right now is a fascinating character and continues to be. But the truth is they all are, because a lot of times there's so many hidden depths that we then reveal themselves, that we saw it happen with Jaime.
Oh, yeah.
We're seeing it happen with Sansa right now. Brienne's a fascinating character. I mean, it's very tough to pick because it's often about the moment that they're having.
Oh, yeah. And then year to year, season to season, and episode to episode even, it's like, oh, now we're kind of getting a new look, new insight into this person that opens it up. In the totality of the show we've seen so far, Arya is my favorite, followed by Tyrion, just because, I just love where they've taken her. I love the sort of grit and quirkiness of her attitude, the humor when they want to go to the humor, but then like the absolute belief that she can be that lethal. It doesn't come off as like goofy or
fake.
Yeah, fake it all.
You buy it all.
Yeah.
And that's like about the marriage of the actress and the character.
Right. She's so perfect, Maisie Williams.
She is so perfect in that role that you're able to believe that from her, that this little girl is killing people left and right and center. And she just likes it so much.
Right, because I mean, it easily could play very false and be like, oh, that's a young actress pretending she's tough.
Yeah,
but you completely buy into it.
I think that the part of me that would like to be a person that works for the greater good, I don't know that I do because I cover geek genre stuff about TV and movies, so I'm not sure that I'm actually doing that, likes Varys.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, because I don't know that he's making the right choices or not for the realm, but I like the idea that that's genuinely what's motivating him. You know, he's not motivated by sexual desire. He can't be. He's not motivated like Littlefinger by trying to reach an unattainable position for himself.
Right.
He knows that he's never going to be on the throne himself.
No, there's no chance
I don't think
of that.
Littlefinger gets that totally. I think he thinks there's a shot. So you're telling me there's a shot.
Maybe
you know?
maybe there is.
And maybe there is a shot for him, that's the truth. But I think that Varys, whether he's right or whether he's wrong, is trying to make the best decision for everyone.
Right.
And that's pretty noble to me. And there's actually not a lot of people that are coming from that noble of a place. And so one thing that I love about that character is that it took time to get to the point that you understood that kind of nobility about him, because he's also very willing and able to do less than totally integrous things to get to reach that goal.
And I would say
which is the difference from Ned Stark.
I'm not even like, I will say this, I think you're more completely sold on his intentions than I am, but because I'm like, what if he's still kind of grifting? But I like that A, it certainly leans that way, like you're saying, and that B, I like that they have changed him so much, you know, that you can even see this as a possibility. Whereas at the beginning it's just like, oh, he's just pulling strings, he's just trying to mess with people. Yeah, but now you're like, oh wait, no, actually it sounds like this is the real him that we're seeing with Tyrion. And maybe that's not true, but I think it probably is. But yeah, it's really cool to see where they've taken him. And then you mentioned Jaime too, who, you know, started out the show as just kind of one of the villains that really, again, you mentioned the premiere episode ends with them pushing a kid out of a window. Hard to come back from, and yet they've found a way. You know, the stuff with him and Brienne was that season 3 especially,
good.
Was so good, and such a different insight into him. I kind of miss that on-screen rapport.
I do too.
You know, it's one sort of sad thing when the show kind of shifts on to a different pairing, because that brought out such a different side of him.
And my hope is that we'll see more of that with him. So other people will bring out sides to Jaime. But yeah, he's been one of the surprising characters that you have so much empathy for. You do have to remember that this is a guy that did toss a kid out of a window, but it's not a perfect world.
There you go.
It's not a
perfect world. No one's perfect.
No one's perfect, and that's what we've learned about the Game of Thrones. Who are your favorite characters on the Game of Thrones? Let us know. You can tweet at us, leave it in comments, things like that. Yeah, I mean, hey, who doesn't love Arya? I guess there are people that don't, but you
People
should.
with wrong decisions.
But you should.